UXO actually does a lot for veterans. They donate $1 for every bottle purchased to Mission 22. There are a lot of companies out there that are of questionable quality that will boast how much they help armed forces and veterans. But personally, I'd like to be alongside a company that makes good product and supports our veterans.
Welcome to PricePlow.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Ben, co-host of PricePlow, and today I'm going to be talking to you about a new company called UXO that has a new pre-workout called Send It. Now, I know you've heard me complain about this before. It seems like every 30 minutes I get a new formula sent to my email from a company boasting about their pre-workout. And there's either one of two situations. One, it's the same 6 ingredients that have been utilized for the last 5 years at either underdosed levels or some wacky dosage that I don't understand how they came to this. Or it's a formula with so many new novel ingredients that don't even have much clinical human data that you're not even sure if the product's even going to work because they didn't use any classic ingredients that we know how they affect us. That's why I get excited when I see a formula that actually mixes both of the two worlds. They use ingredients that have a lot of data backing them from years and years of trials and studies, as well as new ingredients that are pushing the science a little bit and maybe don't have as much science as we'd like, but they're exciting, and we have that anecdotal evidence and a little bit of data to support the mechanism of action, or a little bit of showing, hey, this does boost nitric oxide, or it does actually cause more focus. Maybe we don't know exactly how yet or how much. That fine-tuning will come, but I like to see a company that goes with both of them, and that's what I found in this UXO Send It pre-workout. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to break down the panel for you guys, talk a little bit about the ingredients, and then I'll give you a flavor review. I have used the product before. It's a 16-gram scoop, which is, again, it's in the middle between those two categories of those concentrated pre-workouts that have tiny little 50 milligram dosages of some odd stuff, underdosed citrulline, all that kind of stuff, or those huge monster scoops, those 28-gram pre-workouts that have so much, it might bother your stomach a little bit, or you just want to try something else out that's somewhere in the middle. So 16-gram scoop from Send It. Now, admittedly, I haven't done the math to figure out how much of that is other ingredients, but we've got some large doses in here that are taking up a lot of the scoop. It doesn't look suspicious to me. It doesn't look like the flavoring is too much of the scoop. Now, they didn't break this down into different blends for focus, pump, energy, stuff like that. So I'm just going to read down top to bottom, talk a little about each ingredient. Some of these do fit into different categories, so I'm happy they didn't do that here. But overall, the pre-workout is made to maximize blood flow, improve endurance, and cause an increase in energy and focus. So this is a veteran-owned brand. As a side note, they do a lot of great philanthropic efforts for veterans like Mission 22. They donate $1 per every bottle sold, which I think is great. So I think kind of in the spirit of that veteran feel, it's not just going to be just a pump product. It's not just a stim product. It's not pigeonholed into one thing. This can be used for a bodybuilder, a power lifter, an endurance athlete, someone who wants to generally be fitter. Overall, it's going to give you a full package. So happy to see that. Starts off at top with a big dose, 6 grams of citrulline. Now, I'd be happy with 4 grams. 6 grams is even larger. I think sometimes there gets to be a little bit of confusion about if we want 4, 6, 8 grams because of citrulline malate being in a lot of the studies, which wasn't obviously pure citrulline. So I'd be happy with 4 grams of citrulline. Here at 6, I'm even happier. Citrulline works well for me, Mike, everyone that I know. I don't know anyone that doesn't like citrulline. And it's at a great dose. Moving on to beta-alanine. Everyone knows beta-alanine. It's at a clinical dosage of 3.2. That's where most of the study supports. We can talk all day about where it really should be. 3.2 I'm happy with. I get that in pre-workout. If I want to get my total daily dosage up to 6.4, which is where other studies are at, I can take it at another point in the day, but I'm not dealing with that big pins and needles feeling of beta-alanine. The only thing that I will say here is they use a generic beta-alanine. They did not use carnosine. So they can't really use a lot of the claims that you are allowed to use when you use the actual patented carnosine. But we do know what beta-alanine does in the body. We're happy with it. I'd be happier if they actually used a patented version here, but still beta-alanine holds its own on the formula. Moving into glycosides here, they use 1.5 grams here, so when you look inside, they really filled this thing up. It's not clumpy, there's no big chunks or anything like that. 1.5 grams is a decent dose. I'd like it to see it more of it, but when you add more of it, you then get that clumping problem. And it also gets very gritty when you drink it. So happy with 1.5. They actually use the trademark glycersize. Awesome product, awesome ingredient. This is going to help hydrate your cells a little bit more, give you more of that water pump. So happy to see that here. Like I said before, this is a well-rounded product for anyone that wants to be more fit. So being more hydrated is going to help you in tons of different ways. It's going to help you from cramping. It's going to help fill your muscles up because they should be about 65% water. And it's going to give you a better pump, which who doesn't love that? Moving into the next one, taurine here. Taurine is an ingredient that has a lot of different benefits, from insulin sensitivity to hydration, electrolyte balance, to overall performance. In this case, I'm happy to see it pre-workout because it's going to help out if you get bad back pumps from working out. It can help out with that. It'll help out with your hydration, your electrolyte balance. But we've seen, and I'll link the study here, a meta-analysis for taurine just overall on its own, not with caffeine or anything else, just overall better performance in the gym when you're taking a gram of it. It's an awesome ingredient, well-rounded for pretty much any kind of pre-workout, post-workout, energy workout. I love seeing a gram of taurine. So great dose here, happy with that. Moving on to a controversial ingredient in the middle of the formula, 300 milligrams of norvaline. Now, norvaline is an arginase inhibitor, which means that it brings down the amount of arginase in your body. Arginase is the enzyme that breaks down arginine in your body, the major chemical in your body that produces or causes your body to produce nitric oxide. So the thought process here is, if you can, it's like on a car you have a governor, which sets the top speed of the car. If you remove that governor, proverbially, of nitric oxide, you start putting things in like citrulline here, which is going to actually help create more nitric oxide in the body. You get rid of that top level. You theoretically can then have more nitric oxide in your body. This is actually a controversial ingredient because in some studies, in petri dishes, not in human studies, but in some studies it was found that large doses of norvaline with brain cells could cause the brain cells to die. Now, it is important to note here that in the studies, they were using upwards of the equivalent of, it would be like injecting a gram of norvaline straight in your body. Now, first of all, we're not injecting it. It goes through your digestive system, so we don't really know what happens there in terms of toxicity to your brain. And also, we're only taking 300 milligrams of it. We're not taking a huge dose, like a gram of it. At least I'm not. In this product, we're not. So, norvaline is great for pumps. I think it gives us great pumps. If you're concerned about that toxicity, maybe this ingredient isn't for you. There are other arginase inhibitors like agmatine that could be used instead here that are not toxic. However, if we look at the rest of the industry, companies that are careful with their regulations, companies that are careful with being safe, you do see other companies like Ghost using norvaline that are in large companies like GNC that are very strict about the safety of their products. So at this point, as of December 2019, I personally do not have a problem with this ingredient. I don't go out of my way to take huge doses of it, but if I see it at 300 milligrams in a product, I know I'm going to get a good pump, and I'm not really too worried about it. So props to you guys, UXO, for using this ingredient. A lot of companies are staying away from it from just one study. I think that this is a great ingredient for pump, and I'm not really scared of it yet. Moving into caffeine anhydrous. Not a controversial ingredient for the most part, as long as it's dosed at around this level. It's 275 milligrams, a pretty middle-of-the-road dosage for caffeine. We see it as high as 400 milligrams in mainstream pre-workouts. Other pre-workouts have huge doses of it, but in this particular scenario, we're looking at an overall fitness goal. 275 milligrams is going to be enough to wake you up, get you moving, give you some performance boosts, actually dull a little bit of pain from the workout, but not too much where some people might feel too jittery, too much energy, or if you're in a more of a HIIT style workout, it could be detrimental. So happy with that here. This is not a product that you would want to double scoop just because you're getting 12 grams of citrulline, which could be not so great on your stomach. However, the caffeine dose is not anywhere near one where I'd be worried for a normal consumer. Definitely a very mainstream pre-workout that anyone could probably jump on. Moving into an ingredient that I had to do a little bit of research on just because of UXO makes some interesting claims on it, and it's kind of interesting to me. Juniper berry Now, this juniper berry, it's not an extract. It's important to note here that this is just juniper berry. An extract would be standardized for a certain constituent in the actual herb. In this case, it's just raw juniper berry. Now, for a long time, juniper berry essential oils were used as diuretics. It can help move more water. However, there's no real clinical data on that. So it's more of an anecdotal evidence here. Now, it could be great in a pre-workout. This could possibly make you sweat more, could give you a better workout. Some people feel better when they sweat. That could be an interesting effect there. But however, since it's not an extract, I wouldn't bet on this being too strong. Personally, when I took it, it wasn't like a GBB. Like I wasn't sweating buckets, and I don't want that personally. So I was happy with it. But this will hopefully help you sweat a little bit more, feel a little bit better with your workout, get a better response from your workout. Nothing crazy. It's dosed at 150 milligrams. Something that will definitely get you burning fat, though, is theobromine here. Theobromine is from the cocoa plant. You could call it maybe the cousin of caffeine. It's milder in its stimulant effects, however, definitely can help with fat burning. It's going to help kind of in a similar way that carnitine is going to make your body use fat for energy. It's going to do something very similar here. That's good because overall, you're working out to cause metabolic stress, to cause your body to burn fat. So this is going to make you have a better workout. This makes me a little bit warm. Theobromine personally makes me feel a little bit warmer during my workouts, or if I'm not working out, I really probably shouldn't really drink very much of it. I'm a fan of theobromine. You've seen it in a lot of our top powdered fat burners. So this pre-workout is much more than just pump energy focus. This pre-workout brings a lot more to the table than just that. Moving into S7. Now this is another controversial ingredient. This is one that I'm going to be very real on. S7, initially I was extremely excited about it. I got it in the raw form. I took 50 milligrams of it. I took 100 milligrams of it. Anecdotally, I had great pumps. Also, reading the literature, the studies they brought out boasted huge numbers of nitric oxide boosting. I'm talking 230% extra nitric oxide produced. Go to review the studies, and the studies are not exactly what we want to see in a study for actual athletes. They were using elderly patients. They were not trained, obviously. They actually didn't even work out after taking it. They just took the ingredient and then measured the nitric oxide. Now, that's not saying that S7 does not work. I'd like to see more science on this ingredient. Personally, when I see something like 230% increase in nitric oxide, but what if they worked out? I mean, because of the way that S7 worked out, in theory, working out will cause free radicals to occur, and you might have less nitric oxide produced, since this works through like a plant-based antioxidant. In theory, what if because of all of those factors, you actually end up with a 100% increase in nitric oxide? Now, you're only adding 50 milligrams to a formula here. It's not a lot of powder. If you told me that you could add 50 milligrams to a powder and you're going to get 100% increase in nitric oxide, I'd still love those numbers. So for now, anecdotally, I love S7. I think it works really well. I've used it in a few different products that are blended, and it's hard to discern that S7 out from other ingredients, obviously. But I'm not going to knock UXO for putting it in here. I think that this ingredient probably in time will show more science that will support it. Anecdotally, I like it, and I tell you that I like it, and you should try it out. Make your own opinion for yourself after trying it out. Lastly, they had an estrogen at the bottom. Estrogen is an awesome ingredient from New Live Sciences that they're putting out that helps with the absorption of lots of different ingredients. At first, it was mostly the studies were surrounding small molecules like amino acids. Then it started branching out towards CBD, towards curcumin, towards all sorts of different ingredients that can help your body absorb better. And personally, my favorite claim for estrogen is actually that it lowers intestinal wall inflammation by 75%. So maybe the studies don't say that specifically it helps with the absorption of glycosides. But if you have less intestinal wall inflammation, you're probably going to digest things better, absorb things better. Hard to make that claim in a lot of stuff, but overall, digestive health is a huge problem right now, especially in America. So anytime I can get an ingredient that for 25 milligrams improves my intestinal wall inflammation or health, I'm down with it. I think it's going to help us pre-workout a lot. Overall, 16 grams of product, 10 ingredients, active ingredients at least. Happy with this formula. Great mainstream, middle of the road formula that most people can take and appreciate. It's not going to be too strong for most people. If you're a hardcore pre-workout fan, you might not like this product as much. However, if you're looking for a product that has clinical dosages, doesn't break the bank, I think it retails at $39.99, but you can get up to 15% off of that. I don't think you can go wrong with this product so far. So I'm going to mix it up, let you guys know what the flavor's like. Obviously, I've had this before, so this isn't my first impression. However, I always like to have a fresh one for the camera. While I'm doing this, I mentioned before that UXO actually does a lot for veterans. They donate $1 for every bottle purchased to Mission 22, which helps out with veteran PTSD and suicide. I love to be behind companies that support those who guarantee our rights and fight for us. There are a lot of companies out there that are of questionable quality that will boast how much they help armed forces and veterans. But personally, I'd like to be alongside a company that makes good product and supports our veterans. Now, one interesting thing about this is kiwi strawberry. It says that there's natural and artificial flavors, but what's interesting about it, there's no actual real color to it. For the most part, it's kind of just clear. So normally when you have natural flavors, that actually colors the liquid in a certain amount, but interestingly enough, they didn't color it at all. From a brand standpoint, if you don't color the actual liquid, or the powder leading to coloring the liquid, sometimes the consumer's brain then gets a little bit confused. So for instance, if you were going to taste a green apple, you want it to be green so that you look at it and you're like, oh, green apple, that's what it's supposed to taste like. Personally, kiwi strawberry, I don't know if I want that to be red or green, but I don't know what I'm expecting when I see it clear. So definitely you can tell there's a gritty texture because of the glycericize. Off the bat, it's not as bad as some products that I've had that have 3-4 grams of glycericize, so it's better than that, but it's noticeable. Kiwi strawberry is very mild, mostly strawberry, but not in an overly fruity, sugary way. Get a nice little kick of kiwi at the end. One of my favorite things about the flavor is the second you bring it to your nose to drink, it passes by your nose on your way to drink, you can smell the flavor very pungently. Same thing happens when you open up the bottle. Almost immediately, you can smell the kiwi strawberry. I'm not saying that makes it better in terms of performance-wise, however, the experience is a lot nicer. I like the flavor. I've had it a few times. I can't complain about it. It's pleasant, it's light, it's sweet. It's not overly powerful or overly sweet. I put this in 8 ounces of water. They recommend 8 to 12 ounces, but just knowing that it's a kind of I don't want to say weak, but it's a light flavor. I don't mind putting less water in it. Also, on the way to the gym, I don't want to be drinking a ton of water, having it slosh around in my stomach when I'm working out. I'm already going to be drinking an intra-workout, which is going to have a lot of water in it. So, overall, the flavor is not, it's not something to scream about. But in terms of what I think the company is going for is, solid products that don't break the bank but are effective. They don't need to be spending a ton of money per serving on flavoring. The flavor is just to get it down your throat, to get to working out. And I think they managed a very good flavor that is enjoyable. And I can drink a whole tub of this. As you guys know, that's usually one of my biggest problems is, would I like this flavor every day for the next 30 days? And for this one, absolutely yes. So overall, I like the product. There's a few ingredients in here that I personally might have changed to be a trademarked form, or, all things considered, if you wanted to appease more customers, I might have switched out Norvaline for Agmatine. However, as a whole, the product is solid. I think it works really well. It hits a bunch of different categories, and it doesn't skimp on any of those to fulfill another one. For 16 grams of product at $39.99 plus the 50% off discount, I definitely think it's a good product. You should try it out. As always, guys, for all your news, reviews, and interviews with PricePlow, blog.priceplow.com. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving last week. And if you need anything else, you have any questions, please just comment down below and let me know. Have a great day.
Welcome to PricePlow.